do smart HVAC, supported by data monitoring and regulatory framework, manage built environment to address indoor and outdoor air quality challenges? To start with, Mr. Vikas.
So I believe you fundamentally wanting to understand from a technology and a regular. So okay, now if I have to talk from a very India context, the reality is while there is surely a kind of a guideline issued by CPCB on how the AQI needs to be looked at. There are empirical formulas which are available, and I believe today it has become a mandate to monitor it at least at the construction sites. Uh, but then if I had to look at it from an IAQ perspective, the standards which are being currently followed from a threshold perspective are either originated out of America, most of them, or of course now we have even ISHRAE standards as well. Now, when we look at using technology to combine these two informations which are available, so one side you have the AQI, which is available as an information, a real-time information through the weather stations, which have been either provided by the government or certain private weather monitors. Uh, the advantage today is that when you talking of IoT as a device and supported by a software, you are able to integrate these two informations over the same platform on a real-time basis, which means while you get the IAQ data from the IoT device, which is installed in the work-built environment that we want to kind of cater to, it does get compared with how the AQI is performing for that particular portion of the city through the weather station through an open API integration. So that's already happening. And once you have the data, then of course there is the next level of integration, which ensures that two sides this helps you. One is from a process point, which means that if this requires a maintenance, a predictive maintenance or a reactive maintenance to be done by the FM, then they have the data available to compare. So let's take an example. There is a dust storm going outside the facility. Now, of course, at that point of time, the AQI is going to get disturbed. Now, would you your IQ of course will change accordingly because there is pressure which will carry certain portion of dust as well. Now, if a FM who's informed on a real-time basis knows how to act and react on that situation at that particular moment, compare this to a seasonal trend when you have a winter setting in to Delhi and you know that October is when my AQI starts getting challenged. Again, integrated data which has an AQI on one side on the software available and the IAQ, you know what kind of corrective actions need to be taken because the software will start giving you the predictive maintenance schedules. And in further usage, the integration with the HVAC system, which is what we've talked about with regards to filter controls, with regards to pressure damper controls, all will come into play. So that's my input on.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing those insightful insights about the filter and IOQ monitoring. Coming to you, Doctor. Yes, Dr. Mohan George.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, with the availability of this much data, and if you take the example of Delhi, where 40 monitoring stations are giving continuous data, you can plan. Now you have two set of data. One is long-term data. When you know when the air quality will improve or go worse. If you see simply Delhi, so you can see there are three peaks. One which come in the summer, second one comes just onset of winter, what we say 15th October to 15th November. And then comes the December last and January first week when meteorological condition go worse. So on that basis, your intelligent HVAC systems can be tuned. With long-term data, you can plan. If you have to put this 2 months, what's the calculated system, how much filtration is required, how much ventilation is required. And the same time, when data is available 2 or 3 days before, predictive data is there. And you can do the further fine control to it. So on that way, you can get the better results. And of course, you can save the energy. The data may be the real-time data. I always prefer real-time data, concentration data, which is you are getting instead of AQI. AQI is the index, and actually you always get a range. So it's a little bit confusing. AQI is not for the technical experts. It's actually for the common man, where you can say it's the today is yellow and today is green, and he can take that. So I will always prefer the consultation data, and with support of some machine learning and the modeling, you can tune your HVAC system and get the optimization of that system.
Definitely, Dr. George. Air quality index is very necessary for the common man, and they have to be educated about this.
Yeah.
So coming to you, Mr. Abhijit, how do you view this data monitoring and regulatory frameworks for managing the environment?
So, am I audible? Yeah. So, industrial regulations are like starting to make a real change, though still it's in a very early stage right now. Standards like ASHRAE, LEED, and in India, IGBC and ECBCs are still setting minimum benchmark for ventilation, filtration, and even monitoring. So, if like standards are being pushed for the new buildings which are being constructed like schools, colleges, hospitals, commercial places, to implement minimum ventilation, filtration, and even monitoring requirement, occupants in these buildings are, I believe that they'll see an improved uh, air quality. Of course, I see that regulation alone aren't enough. We need enforcement and better technology as well. Yeah.
Definitely, enforcement is necessary because a compliance issue is very huge. Yes, Mr. Abhijit, may we have your view, please? Mr. Santosh.
See, basically, smart HVAC is, I told you, is necessity now, which creates a healthier environment, which improves your occupant health, productivity, then you reduce your downtime, then improve your product lifespan. Basically, what products we are using is improves your lifespan with data-driven monitoring and accurately address the indoor and outdoor air quality with advanced sensors with the use of AI and IoT monitoring. So these also contribute sustainable urban development, if I can say. And these smart HVAC systems also monitor real-time weather conditions, occupancy patterns, and building uses, which also optimize the energy levels and which improves use of your indoor and outdoor quality. So all the challenges I think we can cater with these smart HVAC systems to improve the air quality conditions, as per me.
Definitely.
So
Thank you very
Gopal,
much
just
for your opinion.
I had one point. I'm sorry, I'm kind of
Yep,
interjecting here.
please go ahead,
I
sir.
think all of us spoke about the technology side of it, but I think what currently is getting missed is that while there is government regulation for the AQI, which is outdoor, and now it has become a mandate with construction sites being asked to monitor the AQI, especially with regard to PM 2.5, PM 10. Um, Mumbai has taken a lead there. They've already gone ahead and made it mandatory, and they've already enlisted a lot of companies who do the real-time monitoring to provide these equipment to construction sites. I think the challenge is actually at the indoor air quality levels. There is no regulation in India today which is available. Uh, all that we spoke about, ASHRAE, LEED, all these standards, these are being taken up by the building developers or the end users at their own wish and will. This is more like somebody committing into creating a healthier space for their occupants. I believe once the government steps in, which I believe it would happen soon, I believe it will act more like a catalyst. So what we're seeing today is basically something which is being done on a voluntary basis. I think once the government steps in and makes it a regulation, that the NOCs get linked to the IAQ which is served. Like today, you have fire detection or fire protection systems as a minimum mandate to get an NOC for a building. I think that they will really see a huge improvement in what the air quality inside the buildings will be, as well as because of these real-time monitoring, the data availability across the country from various facilities is going to be so high that the control of air quality will become much, much, much finer compared to what we are seeing today.
Right, right. That's a quite a valid point you added. So, Mr. Vikas, you are talking about the indoor is more polluted. And you were talking about in your presentation, there was a mention about reactive approach only after complaints. It is very true in its essence. So, and we must check breathing air. So, how are IoT sensors or the predictive analysis or smart controls can bring change in real-time air quality monitoring and measures you are talking about?
Right. See, so from a technology point, as I said, an IoT device is something which sits on the internet, has the capability of sending the data on real time because today we live in a connected world. All the buildings that we work out, even including our own homes, have got Wi-Fi networks. You go to any cafe, restaurant, everything is today connected, right? So I believe the advantage today is that the connectivity across the country or across the globe is pretty high. B, the cost of connectivity has gone down drastically over the years. We all know data has become one of the cheapest across all these years that we've seen, and India, I think, leads the way. I think that's the advantage when you have these sensors, which basically sit on IoT, which can monitor the indoor air quality for the areas that are defined for them on a real-time basis. That's when I believe the strength or the advantage passes on to the facility owner or the facility manager in terms of getting that data on real time, which is what we've been speaking about. And not a limited set of data, but a larger set of data, like Dr. Saab said, that while we AQI is good for the common man to know, but then the reality is that there are a lot of compositions or parameters within the indoor air which contribute to all this. So I think that's the prism is too big. And thereafter, I believe thereafter it becomes more of governance, whether you do it through technology or process or a combination of both. I think that's how this would work. And then it does not become reactive, then it is a more of predictive and proactive management of indoor air quality before you start getting complaints.
Proactiveness is very necessary. And as you mentioned in your presentation also, coming to Mr. Mo. So thank you very much, gentlemen. Now I'll ask Shraddha to take over, close the session, please.
Thank you, panelists, for sharing your valuable insight on today's session, Air Quality Management with Smart HVAC. We hope you found the discussion informative and engaging. Before we conclude, we extend our sincere thanks to our distinguished speaker, Mr. Santosh Jadhav, Dr. Mohan George, Mr. Abhijit Singh, Mr. Vikas Saxena, Dr. Dheeraj Alshetty. To our delegates and viewers, please stay tuned with us on our social media platforms. Thermal Control is available on Facebook, Twitter, that is X, and Instagram. You can also download our app from Google Play Store and Apple App Store. With this, we officially close our today's session. Stay tuned for more such informative sessions. Thank you and goodbye.